Have you ever done something pointless? And I mean pointless. You probably have for a few minutes at a time, kicking rocks or pulling apart blades of grass. It's normal, probably something you're doing to kill time. Have you ever done something pointless for like 20 hours? No? Because that's what this video is about. Me wasting 20 hours of my life. And I don't mean wasting my life as in playing video games in general. No, I mean wasting my time doing something I didn't get anything out of. I did not enjoy this. But my god, am I going to milk it. In this episode, I breed the worst pal in Palworld. To make a premier shit sandwich, you gotta start with the right ingredients. Now, contrary to expectations, the weakest pal in Palworld is not Chikipi or Kativa or Lamball, although they do suck. No, the weakest pal in Palworld is this guy. Now, since I'm the kind of guy that always wants to hit big numbers all the time, attack power is the only stat that matters to me. Sure, its HP and defense are okay, but so what? Those are loser stats. Nobody cares about HP or defense.
You are one pathetic loser. No offense. No, none taken.
With a measly 50 attack, Mozzarina is officially the weakest pal in Palworld. But a level 1 Mozzarina out of a random egg still feels a bit too strong for me. Normally, pals have these little golden traits that people like. You might even see people breed pals that kind of look like this, because that's how you get big numbers. Legend and ferocious and whatever else you want. You can min-max pals to get some crazy numbers out there. I want the exact opposite. Let's make it weaker. Let's make it a lot weaker. Specifically, with these traits: work slave, coward, pacifist, and masochist, which together grant an attack bonus of negative 75%. But that's not all. See, like Pokemon, Palworld has hidden internal stats for every individual pal. These stats, called talent numbers, are for HP, attack, and defense, and are a random hidden number between 0 and 100. It's not enough to just have the bad traits. I also needed a terrible attack talent. My goal, a 5 in attack or below. I needed the right traits, so I found a Warsect and Mao, and a Wumpo and Pengalet to breed to make Mozzarinas with those traits. Don't ask me how this combination makes a cow, okay? I don't know how this works. I don't know how any of this works. I also needed the right talent levels, and since I only had a limited supply of cows on hand, I went out to go herd some more. Each time I caught a new cow, I used the calculator to determine its talent values, and I didn't stop until I got one with the perfect attack that I needed, a negative 2.93%. Now this is not its actual talent value. It can't go below 0, but the calculator can't tell its exact value because it's only level 12. However, it's low enough. I know that much. Unfortunately, it's also a musclehead. Muscleheads have 30% more attack. That's bad. We need to remove that trait from the gene pool, but we'll work on that later. I built a cage to sort out promising cows. It's completely humane, trust me. The ones that I definitely didn't have a use for, I either butchered for meat or sold for money. Capitalism, baby. Before I even started the breeding process, I already had 119 Mozzarina meat. I put down 2 initial breeding pairs, one to get all the traits that I needed, and the other to get all 3 talent values I needed. If I was going for low attack, I might as well go for low HP and defense too, even if it isn't my priority. I cooked up some cake, and I wait. And I wait. While I can set egg hatching time to 0 in the settings, there's no way that I can speed up the breeding part. It's just slow. I watched TV or I ran errands, I stared at a far wall, and I waited. Once I hatched a cow from an egg, makes a lot of sense, I know. Cows come from eggs. Everybody knows that. Anyway, once I hatched the cow, I had to level it up to test its talent values. I had to do this for every single cow. If the cow was pointless, it died on the spot. If it could be useful, I brought it back and stuffed it in the cage. Over and over and over, I did this process. Hatch, kill, calculate, butcher, again and again. 30-minute break. Hatch, kill, calculate, butcher. Each generation was slightly better than the last, which only raised my standards. More cows for the meat grinder, even if I would have loved to have them just a few hours before. Yeah, you are just not good enough for me anymore. The musclehead trait was removed early in the process through my selective breeding, leaving only the premier crappy traits. Eventually, I was breeding together pals with almost perfect stats and traits. Slowly, I was working my way towards my goal. I started running out of materials to make cake for breeding, so I ran around collecting berries and even set up a honey farm. I'm still operating under the rule set I used in my last video series, so hunting wild pals for honey is dangerous since they kill me in one hit. The breeding and slaughtering went on for a full second day, until kill my first perfect trait pal that came from parents with the proper crappy talent values. Excited, I ran to the nearby alpha pal to kill it so I could test its IVs, and it sucks.
I thought I was done. I'm not done.
This actually happened like 3 times before I finally got this guy at the very end of day 2. I was well over 200 Mozzarina's bred, and I'd done it. Unfortunately, its HP and defense were a little too high for my liking, but 8.33% attack wasn't bad. I decided to keep leveling her up. As she leveled, the calculator could more precisely tell me what her attack stat was. Soon, it was showing 5%. And finally, 4.53%. I got her to level 40 to properly test her out, and that's right, that is a level 40 pal that takes 2 hits to kill level 1 to 3 pals. In fact, it's so bad that the typical level 1 pal has nearly double its attack power.
This Mozzarina's attack set increases by less than 1 per level.
Even if I got it to level 50, it probably wouldn't even hit 75 attack. This is truly the worst pal in Palworld. So naturally, I had to kill a boss with it. Nah, that's not gonna happen. There's no way I can kill Victor. I fought Zoe instead. Even with my help, it still took 7.5 minutes to win against the first tower boss.
Truly pointless.
So what now? Pointless task complete. What's in the future for good old 4.53% attack? Maybe she could live in my base and give me milk forever, or maybe... Oh no, she's ground beef.